Hey guys, and welcome back to my kitchen. But in case this is the first time you're stopping by, my name is Gina and I am a wife and mother from the Midwest, and I enjoy cooking fresh meals for my family, and sometimes I make videos of my recipes and I post them up here on YouTube. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make my version of a Germanfest. So my husband is Mexican, he's Hispanic, and I am Caucasian of mostly German and Norwegian descent, and we like to eat like red cabbage and sausage and potatoes. So I don't know, I call this Germanfest whenever I make it. But this is a super Americanized weeknight version that pretty much hits the table in about 30 minutes with just about 2 frying pans and a couple of dishes. It's not too bad. So this is an entire meal I'm going to be showing you how to make. So we're going to be making bratwurst, which I prefer beef broth. So I got these Johnsonville ones because it's a weeknight. So you're not going to actually have to braise them. They're fully cooked. So we're just going to try to brown them off. And then I always make sauteed onions, like, what are they called? Caramelized onions, because my husband really likes that with sausage. Otherwise, he doesn't really like sausage. So if I'm going to serve sausage, I have to serve the onions. So this is what we need for that. And then we're going to be using a little bit of the butter up here for the onions. For our red cabbage and bacon, which is so good. If you've never had red cabbage and bacon, you should absolutely try this. This is actually the way my grandmother makes it, and she's like off the boat from Germany. So I would assume it's authentic. So we're just going to be using about half of a package of this Applewood smoked bacon, but you can use whatever kind that you want. And then this is the brand we like, is the Aunt Nellie's pickled red cabbage, and it says sweet and sour red cabbage on there. So we're going to be using 2 cans of that. And of course, you could always half all of these quantities, but I want to make sure that I have enough for my husband's lunch tomorrow. So I'm doing 2 cans of the red cabbage, a whole package of sausage, and then I'm also doing 2 cans of these whole new potatoes. So we're just making a super simple German-style boiled potato, which basically, you know, you could use fresh potatoes if you want and boil them, but these canned ones are delish and make it very easy, and you can microwave them. So for those, we're basically just going to microwave the potatoes and then add some butter to them and some fresh parsley. And then to season everything up, all you need today is some salt, some pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder if you want for the potatoes. So the garlic powder is completely optional. I'm going to go ahead and get our onions and our bacon chopped up, because that's basically our whole prep, in our parsley. And then I'm waiting for some cookies to come out of the oven that I'm making for my husband's work. So as soon as those are done and I'm ready to get ripping and a tearing, I will be back. Yeah, okay. All right, guys. So what I have here is I have a skillet, a large one, over medium heat, with about a tablespoon of olive oil, which I forgot to mention, and 2 pads of butter that are almost a tablespoon each. Probably not, probably more like half of a tablespoon. But you always want to add oil to your butter if you're going to be sauteing for a long period of time, because butter burns very quickly. So I have sliced our onions over here into like mezzaluna shapes, I guess you could call them, or basically you slice the onion in half and then make these little half moons. And then we're just going to go ahead and start off our sausage and onions by adding these to the pan, because they are going to take the longest out of everything. After I get them in here, I will probably reduce the heat to medium-low, just because want them to go kind of low and slow and get caramelized and not like burn around the edges, which if you have the heat up, geez, I almost just fell over the rug. If you have the heat up too high, you'll just kind of get browned and burnt edges and then have like translucent onions, which that's not what we want. We want a nice deep caramelization on these. So I'm going to kind of spread them all out. And then anytime you're cooking raw vegetables, you want to add a little bit of salt. So I just have sea salt from Costco here. I don't know what kind of sea salt it is. It's just sea salt. So I'm just taking a pinch here, and I'm going to go ahead and add that to the pan, because what it does is it helps remove the water from the vegetable more quickly. So it's very useful when you are sauteing stuff or sweating or doing various methods of cooking off your veggies before you add your meats. So going to go ahead and just stir that around. And then I'm going to add a couple of cracks of black pepper, but I only have 2 hands, so I'll have to do this off the camera. I just say like 5 or 6 quick turns, or maybe a 1/4 teaspoon if you're measuring. Oh no, more cookies are coming out. All right, I will come back with the bacon after I get these cookies out. Okay, so as you can see, I've added a little bit of pepper to here. That's what it looks like, and I've turned my heat down to medium-low because they're already starting to caramelize a little bit. And we want to let this go, like I said, low and slow, because we do still have to add our sausages to brown off in the same pan. Our bacon, what I wanted to mention about the bacon before we add the cabbage, you know, obviously we have to fry it. My best tip for bacon is, I mean, obviously it has its own grease, so you want to get it to release its own grease so that way you don't have to add more oil to your pan, so it doesn't stick. So the way you do that is you add your bacon to the pan while it's cold, and then you turn your heat on medium, and it allows the bacon to gently like sweat its natural fat while the pan comes to temperature, thus resulting in it creating its own oil, which is nice. I mean, we're not going to drain this because we want the bacon fat to flavor our red cabbage along with the pieces. I mean, if there's a ridiculous amount, we'll drain it, but we're going to let that go until it is crisp. And then, this looks gross because I was just dumping it in here, but I've added both of our cans of red cabbage to this mesh sieve, and I'm just draining off the liquid because, as I mentioned, we're going to be leaving the bacon fat, so we don't want it to be soupy. This is a side dish and not a condiment, so we do want to be able to eat it with a fork. And I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm basically just going to go ahead and chop up my parsley, open up my potatoes, and drain them off as well, and throw them in a microwave-safe dish. And we'll be back when we're ready to add our cabbage and our sausage. Okay, so our onions are nice and translucent. They're ready for us to add in our sausages. So I went ahead and I turned the flame back up to medium. And then now I just snuggled in our sausages so that they have contact with the pan and that they're not like really sitting on top of too many onions. And this is going to give a really nice flavor to our sausages. And these are just the Johnsonville beef brats that are pre-cooked. So we're just looking for a nice browning of all of this together. And then our bacon is almost ready. Needs a few more minutes. I did feel the need to mention now, I don't remember if I mentioned it before, the cabbage, when you drain it, like, you don't rinse it. Like, I always rinse, like, corn and black beans and stuff like that, but you do not need to rinse the cabbage because I feel like it would take off some of the sweet and sour flavor, like the pickled flavor. But this is very close to being done. And then we've got our potatoes. So let's see, we need to get out the bowl. Sorry, should have remembered to take that out. These have already been drained and rinsed. And in case you don't watch my videos, this is my favorite kitchen tip of all time. I save my shopping bags or my jewel bags or whatever, and I keep them and I use them for garbage bags while I cook, so I just throw my kitchen scraps in there. And this one looks so sad. That's unfortunate. I think it's just cracked. Or is it creepy? Maybe it's creepy and cracked. I don't know. Anyways, let's check our bacon because it's probably ready. Yep. Alright, it's nice and crisp. And we have a decent amount of fat in here. I'm probably actually going to drain off just a little teeny weeny bit because I'm not trying to like eat a bunch of grease. So let me put you on hold for a minute because I don't want to burn myself or my kitchen down. Okie dokie. So as you can see, I've drained off quite a bit of fat. This is thick cut bacon. I don't know. It just had a lot of fat. So this is what you want to have left. Just like a nice little coating in the bottom of the pan. Probably about a tablespoon. And now all I'm going to do is dump in our red cabbage. You should be careful because you're adding liquid to grease and dropping it on your plain floor. And it could like splash out of the pan. So we're just going to go ahead and get this mixed in. And let's check our sausages. Yep, that side is getting nicely browned. I'm going to leave those another second. Okay, so our bacon is mixed in, and now we're just heating it through. To me, actually, believe it or not, I know I just said there was too much bacon fat. I'm going to add a little bit of this stuff that I poured off back in, just because it looks a little dry. You want it to be kind of nice and shiny. Okay, and now for our sausages. You gotta stir our onions for sure, because my onions are getting a little overdone. It's always hard to actually film and cook in real time for you guys, because to cook through the lens of my camera is a little bit difficult. It's difficult to cook with one hand, and sometimes I just can't keep an eye on stuff or move as quickly as I would if I wasn't filming. So I'm not exactly 100% happy with the crispiness on these onions, but what are you going to do? All right, so now we're going to start flipping sausages. Now that is perfect, a nice little brown streak. Let's move our onions off to the side and move our sausage to the middle. And now essentially we're just waiting for these sausages to brown off. All right, guys, so our potatoes are in here. I'm going to go ahead and add, let's see here, probably 2 tablespoons of butter. So we're just going to estimate the measurement, just like that. Put one over here, and the other one over here. And I'm going to go ahead and microwave this for 2 minutes, and then I'll give it a stir and see if it needs some more time. So I will be back to show you how I garnish this up and basically plate everything up, because we're almost done. Alrighty, our potatoes are all done. 2 minutes was fine. They're nice and hot, and you don't want to overcook these because they're already very soft because they're boiled, so you just don't want to do that. So this is the part where you would use garlic powder if you wanted to. You'd just add some, like probably about 1/4 teaspoon to the potatoes, but I'm actually not going to do that because I have 2 3-year-old twins, and I want them to eat this, and they probably won't anyways, but I'm just going to try. So anyways, I'm going to take just a small pinch of salt, probably equivalent to like, I'd say 1/4 teaspoon, maybe even a little bit less, because these potatoes already will be salty because I didn't buy the no salt added kind. They're just the regular kind. And then we're going to add a healthy pinch of fresh parsley. And then I'm going to add a couple of cracks of black pepper. So let me just pause this for a second and I'll show you what it looks like after we mix it all up. Okay, so here are our potatoes. Delish. I cannot wait to eat those. Our sausage is nice and brown. Onions are caramelized. And our cabbage, red cabbage and bacon is heated through. Let me go ahead and grab out some mustard. I'm probably going to serve this with, I like to eat the whole grain mustard. Like, my favorite brand is Maille. M-A-I-L-L-E. I don't even know if that's how you say it, but I don't have that right now. But there's that like Hofferman's one that's pretty good too. But you could also eat it with like Dijon or spicy brown mustard or whatever mustard you like. So I'll pull that out so we can dip our sausages. And I will be back with a taste test and to show you the final plate. Literally too, guys, I started this at like 5:35 and it's 6:07, and that included filming the video, talking to you the whole time, and chopping, prepping, and cooking all the ingredients. So this is like to the table in 30 minutes. All right, guys. So I think my camera has food on it. Oh, I think that was a taste test.
I missed it.
Yeah? I guess I didn't even have to wait for the taste test. He's really excited for it. So this is husband approved.
It's delicious.
Yeah? What's your favorite thing?
The onions. Oh, no, the cabbage.
It's cabbage, yeah.
Everything is delicious. Not all the dishes delicious.
I'm happy you like it.
My favorite.
Awesome. So there it is, guys. My daughters have chosen to abdicate dinner because they don't want to eat it. So whatever. Gator don't play that, and I'm just letting them be. So here is our plate. We have our sausage with our caramelized onions. I don't know why it's not focusing really good. Anyways, we have our red cabbage with bacon and our boiled potatoes with butter and parsley. And I've got a little bit of the mustard I told you about. Let me just go ahead and try to wipe the camera one more time. Sorry, guys. I guess it's not in the cards for us to be focused right now. Anyways, so that's it. That's our video for how to make Germanfest from stove to table in 30 minutes. If you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you could give me a thumbs up. And if you liked it, or if you loved it, excuse me, go ahead and subscribe. I enjoyed making this video for you guys, and hope you have a great night. Wait, are you guys gonna try it?
Try it. It's potato, French fry. So good. Look. It's delicious. Try it for her, so you can tell her if it's good in her video. Try it. A little one of these. So you tell her it's good or not. It's sausage.
Try it. It's a hot dog.
Like this, a hot dog.
No? Those potatoes are good. Alright guys, anyways, I already gave you the whole spiel. Thank you for stopping by. I sincerely appreciate it, and I hope you like this video. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.